Okay, so we're live. I just need to tweak some things before we begin. I'll just ask you to be patient, and this will also give the others opportunity to join us. Okay, so now we are ready to go. So, welcome to Sunday's live stream. As always, first I will do a short presentation about some of the key markets and then we will try to answer some of your questions. Please put your questions in the chat or on our Facebook page. And before we begin, a quick disclaimer: anything in this video should not be considered as trading or investment advice. Please do your own research before you put your capital in these crazy markets. So without further ado, let's begin. As always, first I want to take a closer look at yields and specifically the US 10-year, which is the benchmark for the interest rates markets, as US bonds are the largest and the most liquid market in the world. So since last week, the yields basically recovered and climbed to new highs, which is in line with our bullish view. Although we prefer to see a bit deeper correction for minute wave 2. As we discussed previously, we expected wave 2 to terminate at or near the upper trend line of the base channel. This is typical for breakouts where prices come back to retest old resistance, which now is acting as support. Okay, so going forward, I look for yields to continue sharply higher, actually, as the wave count suggests that the current rally is wave 3 of 3. Our target zone comes in at 355 to 376 basis points, which represents a strong Fibonacci cluster comprising the 2.618 multiple of minor wave 1 and the 1.618 extension of minute wave 1. This move higher should be very bullish for stocks, since money will have another place to look for higher yields since bonds are selling off. Okay, so now let's take a look at NASDAQ futures. Last week we noted that prices most likely completed a flat correction with an ending diagonal in the C-wave position, and prices should hit ultimately to new highs as the new year progresses. Very near term, we are still tracking a developing flat correction for minor wave 2, and it has reached our target zone. And currently, wave 2 is about a 38.2% retracement of wave 1. However, there is still nothing to suggest a correction low is in. So the prospect for more downside activity remains intact towards the 50% retracement of wave 1, which comes in at 14,111. And wave CF2 will most likely take shape of an ending diagonal. So the bottom line here is that the downside should be limited as we head into the new week, and the next big move short term should be higher, a sharp rally in minor wave 3, which will likely carry prices to new all-time highs. And let's do a 1.618 projection for wave 3 from the 50% retracement level, and this will give us a reasonable upside target to watch. So the 1.618 multiple of wave 1 projected from the 50% retracement of wave 1 comes in at about 17,900. So this is a reasonable upside target to watch in the next few months. Okay, so before we jump to gold, I want to take a look at euro dollar. As you know, we have been tracking the very late stages of this flat correction for intermediate wave 2, and specifically we have adjusted the internals of wave C to better reflect the recent weakness in euro dollar. So we expect to see a marginal new low to complete an ending diagonal in minor wave C, ideally near the 0.618 multiple of minute wave 3. So once this level is achieved, we will look for a sharp reversal back towards the prior fourth wave high to provide evidence that a wave 2 is complete. Also, further to note is that prices are again closing in on an important trend line that connects the 2017 and the 2020 lows. So an important key support level as well. We expect trendline support to hold as we look for a bullish reversal in wave 3 as previously discussed. Okay, so now let's take a look at gold. We're experiencing some difficulties. I'll just ask for some patience before I continue with gold. Okay, so we are ready to continue with gold. So the 62% retracement of wave 1 near 1891 remains strong near-term support, which is in line with our expectations and keeps the focus on the upside for a sharp rally in a minor wave 3. However, we need to see some upside acceleration above the prior highs near 1967 and the $2,000 handle to ensure wave 3 up is in its early stages. A solid break above the first wave high should add upside traction and lead to a sharp rally towards the 1.618 multiple of wave 1 near 2367. And also we have the potential of a rounding bottom as now outlined on the chart. Okay, so this is what I have for gold. Not much change actually. So the bottom line here remains that wave 2 is either complete or in its very late stages. So the next significant move should be higher, a sharp rally in wave 3 as we have just discussed. Okay, so next up is the energy sector. So prices here have almost faded the latest decline, and we are likely now in the next leg up in wave 3 of 3. So the Fibonacci cluster at $89 to $92 remains a strong short-term target, and it will likely be achieved in Q2. Support should be found near $71 on any pullback, although we don't expect this level to be tested. And since we are starting to get some recovery in the energy sector, I want to take a look at oil. So we should see also signs that oil has bottomed. And if we zoom out a bit, first I want to show what is our intermediate term target for oil. So the Fibonacci cluster near $200, comprising the 1.618 multiple of intermediate wave 3 and the reverse 1.382 multiple of this large degree correction, form a strong upside target for 2022 and possibly early 2023. Near term, let's just zoom in so we can see better the internals of the recent decline. I view this correction as wave 2 of 3, which will likely see further weakness towards the 62% retracement of wave 1 of 3 near $88 before the next move higher begins. So even if we draw a corrective channel like so, we will look for any further weakness to be limited by the central line and the 62% retracement, and a break above the upper trend line of the corrective channel would begin to suggest the next impulsive rally in wave 3 of 3 is in its early stages. Okay, so now let's turn our focus to the food ETF. So prices here have remained mostly sideways since last week, so not much to add here. Overall, we continue to maintain a bullish stance as we expect further sharp rally towards the 1.618 multiple of wave 1 near $31. And of course, the previous low near 2063 should be support if tested. Okay, so now let's take a look at some crypto, specifically Bitcoin. So although we remain bullish Bitcoin, near term we could still see further weakness towards the prior fourth wave low near 33,668, as the recent rally is only in 3 waves, and within this 3-wave rally we can easily identify a triangle for wave B of a larger zigzag in wave X. A common relationship for X waves is that they tend to end near the B wave high of the prior zigzag. So going forward, the prospect for another 3-wave decline towards the prior 4th wave low remains intact, and this move lower will complete a more complex correction for wave 4, a double zigzag. Of course, the alternate, as we have shown, is a triangle 4th wave correction, in which case we will remain above the prior low near 32,838 and see additional sideways activity. Let me just quickly outline the triangle so we can get a better idea. So basically this is the alternate, and we basically need further weakness near term towards the lower trend line in wave E to complete a triangle 4th wave. But of course the next big move, as we discussed earlier, should be higher, a rally to new highs in primary wave 5. Our targets, an initial upside target, comes in at 84,894, which is the reverse 1.382 multiple of the recent decline, and it is projected from the prior 4th wave low. Okay, so next up is XRP. So here we also don't have anything to add since our last update. Basically, prices remain locked in a sideways range while contained between converging trend lines, which is consistent with a triangle for primary wave 4. We expect this triangle to possibly end in the next month or so, and then give way to a rally to new highs in primary wave 5. Also, we have to keep in mind that thrusts from a triangle tend to be aggressive, as is the case here, where we had a triangle in 2017, which then gave way to a steep and swift move higher to complete primary wave 3. Our target for 2022 comes in at about $12, although greater upside potential exists, but let's take it one step at a time. Once prices break above the BD trend line, this trend line should then act as support on pullbacks. Okay, so now I want to take a look at some individual stocks, and we are going to revisit specifically some of the minor stocks, gold and silver minor stocks, which we looked at previously, because we are starting to retreat from some key support levels. Okay, so the first one is Fortuna Silver Mines, or FSM. So here, as we discussed previously, the stock has likely bottomed. It has completed an ABC pattern, a zigzag, with wave C being the extended wave. And this correction has retraced an almost exact 62% of this initial 5-wave rally from the 2020 pandemic low. And so far the recovery is only in 3 waves. However, I want to zoom in and I want to specifically highlight this correction here. So it is composed of only 3 waves and contained between parallel trend lines. So these are key characteristics of a corrective move, and with the recent uptick we have broken above this corrective channel, so we will most likely see a rally above $4.70 as we head maybe into the new week. So a move above the prior high would basically confirm that the pattern from the December low is a couple of ones and twos, and a break above the prior high will most likely then lead to a sharp move higher in a third of a third impulse wave. And let's project a 1.618 multiple for this third of a third wave advance. So it comes in at about $6.80. So this is a strong near-term target to watch in Fortuna Mines. And key support for this bullish view is the $3.60 handle. Okay, so now let's take a look at JPO, Great Panther Silver Mining. Just to recap, the big picture reveals a completed ending diagonal in the C wave position, and this implies a sharp rally back to the origin of the pattern near $5 in the next, let's see, in the next 5 years or so. And let's now take a look at a smaller scale and zoom in on the latest price action. So the interesting pattern here is that we definitely have a clear 5-wave structure, which was then followed by what I view as a second wave correction, and this correction is very close to a 62% retracement of this rally. So once we reach the 22 cents level, I would be looking for a bottom in wave 2 and a bullish reversal in minor wave 3. And let's just zoom out a bit. So going forward, I will be looking for a larger 5-wave rally to carry prices into the projected Fibonacci area of 54 to 75 cents. And of course, ultimately a rally to new heights, as I discussed previously. Okay, so the next stock is Eldorado Gold, or EGO. So yeah, the big picture is quite similar. We look for a rally to new all-time highs as prices likely completed a large degree zigzag. the upside break of the corrective channel formed by the zigzag confirms that the uptrend is in its early stages, and we're likely to see some upside acceleration in the coming months, since prices have traced out a couple of ones and twos of the 2019 low, which is an all-time low actually for this stock. And the 1.618 multiple of intermediate wave 1 comes in at $19. So this is a strong short-term target, although intermediate wave 3 can and it will likely achieve a greater upside, a greater multiple of wave 1. So a solid break above this level likely then targets the 1.618 multiple of minor wave 1, which comes in at $24. So these two levels are our targets for the next few months. And I just want to zoom in on the shorter term price action. Here we can easily identify a triangle as outlined by the converging trend lines, which will likely be resolved to the upside, and prices will likely target the 1.618 multiple of wave 1 near $13 to complete 5 waves up for wave 3. We will then watch for a fourth wave correction before prices ultimately continue higher towards the $14 handle. So this is our near-term script, and the low near $11 should be strong support on any pullbacks near term. Okay, next one. The next miner I want to take a look at is Yamana Gold, or AUY. And here we have one of my favorite patterns, which is the ending diagonal, because these patterns tend to be followed by a sharp reversal back to the origin of the pattern, which, as we can see, this is the case here, where once prices broke above the upper trend line of the channel, we saw a very decisive rally. So this gives us confidence that our bullish view is on the right track. And very near term, I would look for an initial 5-wave rally from the wave 2 low to possibly target, let me just project some Fibonacci levels, to probably top out somewhere between the 78.6% retracement of intermediate wave 2 and the wave 1 high near $7. And support should be found between 5.2 and $5.1 on any pullbacks. Okay, so another stock I want to take a look at is Uranium Energy Corp. And we have here a very clear 5-wave rally for intermediate wave 1, which was then followed by a nice 3-wave drop, which is about an almost exact 62% retracement of wave 1. So this is a common relationship in second wave pullbacks, and the recent recovery likely represents the early stages of intermediate wave 3. So the wave 1 high near $6 $5.80 will likely act as near-term resistance, but once overcome, we will likely see further upside acceleration towards the 1.618 multiple of wave 1 near $11. So as I said, yeah, this is another stock that I have on my watch list, and I believe it will present very nice upside in 2022. Okay, so and finally, before we jump to maybe some questions, I want to take a look at a stock from the weed sector. So this is a cannabis stock. This is CGC, or Canopy Growth Corporation. So we have a very interesting pattern here, which I view as a flat pattern, where even wave A is also a flat, wave B a zigzag, and then we had a pretty nice impulsive decline for wave C. Recently, we have been starting to get some buying, but we want to see more upside follow through to ensure this flat correction is complete. So a solid break above the prior fourth wave high near $9.64 would begin to build the case that Canopy has bottomed. And let's do a quick measurement. Since this is a flat pattern, it should ultimately be fully retraced, and a rally from current levels to the prior high is about an 8-fold growth from current levels. So definitely another stock to keep a close eye on. Okay, so let me see if we have any questions. Okay, so I see we have a question about copper. Okay, so let's take a look at copper. Okay, so let me see. First, I need to find a good chart. Okay, so copper futures. Okay, so yeah, I have previously looked at copper, so I think I have a good idea what is currently unfolding here. So the first thing that stands out here is this bullish triangle, which is now fully retraced. So definitely a strong uptrend here in underway. So big picture, I would of course use my Fibonacci retracement tool to maybe see where prices are heading. So initially Yeah, the reverse 1.32 multiple of this correction here gives us a target that comes in at about $7. But keep in mind that this was a log scale, so I would typically first take a look at the arithmetic scale. So yeah, so an initial target for the next big impulsive rally, it comes in at $5, and a break above here will likely then target the early $7 handle. So if I have to guess, I would label this as a probably a fourth wave, because triangles tend to occur mostly in the fourth wave position of an impulse or in the B wave position of a zigzag. So yeah, I would label this primary wave 5 that should ultimately target the $7 handle. And let's see the short-term structure of copper, because I believe that we're still maybe in wave 2 of 5, and possibly we are tracing out what it looks as a flat correction. But let me just zoom in. So okay, so let's see. As always, I want to see whether this correction satisfies the minimum downside expectations for wave 2, which is at least a 38.2% retracement of wave 1, and yeah, not quite there. So okay, so maybe my preferred near-term trajectory would be for a decline to a new recovery low to complete a flat correction, a larger flat for intermediate wave 2, before we get further upside acceleration in intermediate wave 3. And of course, the alternate would be wave 2 ending here at the prior low near $4, but this way wave 2 appears to be too brief and too shallow for me to consider intermediate wave, the whole intermediate wave 2 as complete. So yeah, so even this recent rally still remains contained between parallel trend lines, which is a key characteristic of a corrective move. So yeah, my working assumption is that we are tracing out a flat for intermediate wave 2, and we need a 5-wave decline in wave C. Let me just draw the internals for wave C. Yeah, so this is the idealized trajectory for wave C. And let's go one step further and project a 1.618 multiple of wave A. So this creates a good Fibonacci cluster and an ideal bottoming zone for wave 2 between 3.7 to $3.5. So yeah, once the zone is reached, I will then look for another strong rally similar to that in wave 1, and maybe even more aggressive than that since third waves are usually the strongest segment in an impulse. So let's do another exercise and project a 1.618 multiple of wave 1 from the 38.2% retracement of wave 1, and let's see a potential target for intermediate wave 3. Oh yeah, it's even, yeah, it's higher than I expected. So yeah, wave 3, if we assume that wave 3 ends near the 38.2% retracement of wave 1, wave 3 should then target the 1.618 multiple near $8.50, or at minimum the $6.70 level, where wave 3 would equal the length of wave 1. So this would be our minimum upside expectation for wave 3, but as I said, most often than not, third waves tend to achieve a 1.618 multiple of wave 1. Okay, so this is what I have for copper, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to support us, you can buy us a coffee, links in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream, Sunday as always. Bye bye.